What is up? It is January 24th, 2026, weekly update, ladies and gentlemen. Um, this week, this week was a lot of comedy, honestly. A lot of comedy, a lot of open mics. I did 7 open mics this week. And that was after missing a few that I normally go to. So I could have had even more this week, which is pretty wild. I did one mic on Sunday. I did one on Tuesday. I did 3 on Wednesday, and then I did 2 on Thursday. So just solid week of getting up on stage, doing jokes and the like. I sat down Wednesday and Thursday and finally wrote for 3 hours each day, and it was awesome. It was awesome. The set that I did Sunday and Tuesday, I wasn't too happy about them, honestly, because I had known for a while that I needed to rewrite my set. I needed to change the angle on the jokes and everything, because it's not working. It wasn't working. And so I finally got to it on Wednesday, because that was finally the first day that I got to it of this year. I'd wanted to do it since, I want to say, the end of December, start of this year. But because I filled up my previous joke journal, and I'm starting a new joke journal, I had to move over and basically copy over all my sets from my first journal to the second journal. And in the process of doing that, I actually went through the whole journal and got anything else that I thought I wanted to copy over. And that in and of itself was a really awesome practice that I really enjoyed, because I really sat down. I didn't read through every single page, but I really sat down and I looked at every single page and reflected honestly on just the last 2 years of writing and material and jokes, quotes, different thoughts, random thoughts, reflections, review notes on different sets. And it was really, really cool, because it was me looking back at all the work that I've done up to this point in the name of getting better as a comic. And that was really cool. I also saw this one page where I sat down and I wrote my thoughts on how do I evaluate my progress? Like, how do I know I'm actually making progress as a comic? Because so much of the skill of comedy is amorphous, right? You tell jokes, and once they're out there and they're gone. And so as a carpenter, you build something, right? Like I built Vanessa. I have Vanessa. I can show Vanessa to people. As an artist, as a painter, you paint paintings and you have paintings and you can show those to people. As a musician, you make songs, you write your thoughts, and you play those songs. You give that to people. You can record them and you can send them to people. Comedy has none of that. So in this review of thoughts and things that I had on my set, I was asking myself the question of just how do I measure my progress? I can say I'm getting funnier, that's a thing, but that shifts and changes with the audience. It shifts and changes with the night, with the set, with the jokes, with how I'm feeling, and all those different things playing into each other. So how do I know I'm making progress? It was a really deep question that I was asking myself, because I'm someone who, I don't mind the time it takes to do something. I just need to know that I, I'm making progress, even if it's just a little step, even if it's just a grain of sand. If I can just see a grain of sand accumulating on a pile, I can say to myself, it's slow, but I'm steady and I'm being consistent, and eventually it'll get bigger. And so at the bottom of that page of me writing all my thoughts and everything, I wrote down the only thing, I forget exactly what I wrote, but I wrote down something to the effect of, the only thing that I have as a measurement of my progress are the pages in this journal. And then I circled that in red right afterward, and I wrote a little comment to myself, and I said, this is the answer. That's my answer. Filling out my comedy journal is how I know I'm making progress. Because every single line that I add to the page, every single sheet that I fill, every single new set that I write, every single time that I reflect on a set, every single anything related to comedy, if it's a quote that I hear that I think it's insightful, if it's a book that I read on comedy and I copy something out of that and put it in there, all of that fills up that journal bit by bit by bit by bit. And all of that is me capturing the work that I'm putting in to get better. And I'm one journal down. And I'm currently on the second. So that was what was delaying me so much at the start of this year to finally rewriting my set. And so I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I did it because I saw that, which helped me remember why I was filling out the journal in the first place. And then I also looked back at all the material that I have that has gotten laughs at some point. So even when I was copying over, I found different ways of like, I kind of had to stop myself for a moment because I wanted to go back into the set. And I'm like, oh, I could do it like this. I could do it like that. I can take this angle. I could take that angle. I could use this word instead of that word. All these little things. Suddenly I'm looking back at this old material and all these things that I was working on before, all these jokes, all this material, I can suddenly look at it with a new lens and without a doubt put new life into it and maybe make it better. Not even maybe make it better. Definitely make it better. Definitely make it better. And that was awesome. So yeah, it delayed me from finally rewriting my set, but just the personal validation of knowing that, oh, I'm really doing this. I'm really putting in the time. That's everything to me. It really is. And so, yeah, my set on Sunday and my set on Tuesday, they kind of sucked. You know, they weren't the best. Sunday was fun though. And Tuesday, my set on Monday, my set on Sunday was better than my set on Tuesday, but neither set did I really get laughs, but both sets I definitely had the audience's attention, which is just as important. Maybe not just as important, but it's important. And then finally Wednesday sat down with the new joke journal and just I rewrote my whole set. The same set that I did on Sunday and Tuesday, I took a whole new angle on it. Same premise, same idea, same theme and topic, but all new material, new jokes, so to speak. And went on stage with that on Wednesday. And I like the reactions. It's much more personable from my standpoint because it's a lot more, it's way more reflective of my actual thoughts on the matter than the set that I was doing before. The set that I was doing before had truth to it. It had kernels of truth, but I was definitely playing loose with some things. And this new set that I'm doing right now is definitely it really is my thoughts. It really is like my thoughts on things. And now that I have that, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about like, all right, how can I make this funny? And that's where the set is right now. That's where my current set is right now. And I did 7 mics this week. 4 of that, 3 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday. Excuse me. And I mean, that's really it. Friday was work. I worked on Monday. I worked on Sunday too. But that's really it in terms of like comedy and the like. I've been much more consistent about going to a Bible study that I go to. I'm really happy about that. I've made it 5 weeks in a row. And for all intents and purposes, I don't see any reason why I'm gonna miss this coming this. It's on Tuesdays. It's this coming Tuesday. So I'm happy about that. And I mean, no, I'm feeling good. It's cold right now in Texas. This whole winter storm, winter freeze thing is going on. So I'm currently at my sister's place. Excuse me. Currently at my sister's place to just, wait out the storm, because I don't want to be on the road with Vanessa. I've skid on ice before in Vanessa. It's it's a gnarly feeling because she's a big vehicle, and skidding on the road doing that, like, ooh. It definitely sparks up your anxiety, and it definitely makes you think like, yep, I'm good. I don't care where I'm about to park, but it's about to be less than a block away, and I'm going to sleep. And that's exactly what I did. So she survived. Here we are. Life is good. For the most part, life is good. Life is good. So that's it. I'm going to cut it at that. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. And have a good day. God bless.